Today on Investigate TV Plus, across America tracking down fugitives who flee. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Known as bounty hunters, we found they operate with little to no oversight.
We have advocated to try to have some consistency in the regulations throughout the U.S.
We uncover the patchwork of regulations across the country that some industry leaders believe contribute to violent and dangerous encounters.
They think they can come in like the old Wild Wild West and just come in, grab somebody and bust down a door and go, oh, I'm sorry, it was the wrong door.
Plus,
it was really bad. So I was near the end.
A total stranger gives one man a second chance to live.
She got to listen to her son's heartbeat in my chest.
How one family's tragedy became another's miracle.
Then some see art in what's thrown away.
Being able to take a napkin and actually turn a profit. I still laugh.
We show you how he makes paper bloom and sometimes float.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus.
The term bounty hunter may evoke images of the old American West with gunslinging cowboys and wanted posters, but it's a practice that goes back centuries.
Bounty hunting is believed to date back to the late 13th century in England, when a court assigned a custodian to keep track of the accused and present them at trial.
The modern-day practice involves finding fugitives who skipped out on court.
Compared to police officers, they face fewer constitutional restraints, and we found patchy regulations can lead to a lack of training.
Investigative reporter Chris Nakamoto uncovers instances of rogue roundups across the country.
I guess the craziest story was North Louisiana. We head to the house. Well, I go around to the back because behind the house is absolutely nothing but cane fields. So if this guy runs in that cane field, gets by me, he's gone. So I come walking around the side of the house. Grandma or mom raised up a double-barrel shotgun, goes, "Where'd you come from?" And I pretty much froze at that point. I was very glad to make it home that night. And we got him and brought him back with us.
For nearly 3 decades, Alan Hudson has earned a living following fugitives who flee. He's among the nation's estimated 15,000 fugitive recovery agents, also known as bounty hunters, who are tasked with locating individuals who have skipped out on their day in court. His wife Michelle is also in the industry, a second-generation fugitive recovery agent.
Yes, there are a lot of bounty hunters or alleged bounty hunters that have made the mistakes that has caused the industry a bad name.
The bad name she's referring to is a stigma caused by rogue roundups, from wrong house raids to shots fired. From Texas to New York, news reports around the country detail dangerous situations where those roundups went wrong. In Louisiana, police arrested 3 bounty hunters, charging them with felonies after they allegedly kicked in the door of an LSU graduate student. She locked herself in the bathroom of her apartment, and prosecutors say they kicked that door in too, before realizing they were at the wrong apartment. And when weapons are involved, the tension only grows. In New York, a conviction. An unlicensed bounty hunter sentenced to 2 months in prison when he went into the wrong complex armed with a long gun.
They think they can come in like the old Wild Wild West and just come in, grab somebody and bust down a door and go, oh, I'm sorry, it was the wrong door.
Our national investigative team found many of these problems may be attributable to spotty and inconsistent regulations across the nation when it comes to bounty hunting. Illinois, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Oregon, and Wisconsin have completely or effectively outlawed the practice of commercial bail bonds and fugitive recovery.
So what are you doing here then?
Well, we're just going to ask her politely if she'd like to come with us.
Where it is allowed, the practice isn't always regulated. We found more than a quarter of states, shown here in red, have no rules on the books specific to bounty hunting, while these in yellow regulate it by limiting permission to licensed bond persons or private investigators. Many agents are allowed to wear tactical gear, carry IDs that look like badges, and keep guns strapped to their side, making them often look like the police but without the same training and guardrails.
We try to maintain professional standards throughout the industry.
Chuck Jordan is the president of NAFRA, the National Association of Fugitive Recovery Agents. For years, he's been trying to get more uniform standards on the books.
We have advocated to try to have some consistency in the regulations throughout the U.S.
Regulations that would apply across America to stop what's been happening from coast to coast.
In some states, they are lightly regulated or, not regulated at all for the most part.
In recent years, his organization approached members of Congress to make changes, but his push fell on deaf ears, and no one was interested in making changes to the $2 billion industry.
But as far as getting all the different states on board, it's quite difficult to get everybody on the same page.
While there are no federal regulations on bounty hunting, Jordan says they can revoke memberships to their organization.
There's around 20 people nationwide that are suspended or revoked as far as their memberships go.
Although the number of violent encounters are slim compared to the amount of fugitives who are arrested without incident, Jordan says the failure to address problems allows those who get in trouble in some states to go elsewhere and continue working. State regulators could check with his organization before licenses are issued, but he says they don't.
And we would certainly be open to that.
For Alan Hudson and his wife Michelle, who work on the front lines, they strive to be careful and aware.
You don't just run in somewhere thinking you know best and you don't know best. That's either you're going to get killed or somebody else is going to get killed, and we don't want that bad stigma on the recovery agent's name.
It's estimated bounty hunters apprehend 30,000 fugitives each year, and while they work for profits, supporters say their help streamlines the criminal justice system to keep things on track. Today, the practice is legal in just 2 countries, the U.S. and the Philippines.
Still ahead, we take you to a city where different worlds collide to create an iconic piece of infrastructure.
It's very Spanish, it's very West African, it's very French. So it's sort of this symbol, this beacon of a space where all of these cultures have come together for centuries now.
We reveal how one blacksmith is restoring history and forging the future of the craft.
But first,
I had a choice of just doing palliative care until I passed away or do the transplant.
he got a second chance while thousands still wait. We'll tell you about the life-saving decision that brought 2 families together.
I was really nervous, I was really scared because, this could be the last time that you're around. Because once you go into surgery, if something goes wrong, you're just not going to wake up.
Plus, show you how to check your donor status and potentially save a life.
You can watch Investigate TV Plus anytime online. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel at Investigate TV. You can catch stories and full episodes.
On any given day, there are more than 100,000 people waiting for an organ transplant in the United States.
A 2025 survey found while 93% of Americans supported organ donation, only 53% were signed up, and another 5% were unsure of their status.
In Kentucky, we meet a man who nearly lost his life and now lives for someone else.
Reporter Myra Ansari explains how his transplant brought 2 families who live hundreds of miles apart together.
You don't look like you had a transplant. You look great.
That's what people say.
It's incredible.
When you've been through what Dewey Scobie has been through,
I think we caught you at the very right time.
You can understand why he's so grateful.
It was really bad. So I was near the end.
Dewey had heart issues for a long time. Doctors exhausted all resources to keep him going. In 2024, he was in the hospital with heart failure.
I had a choice of just doing palliative care until I passed away or do the transplant.
At 58 years old, Dewey needed a heart transplant. More than 4,000 people in the U.S. are waiting for a new heart. And that's where Rock Dabney comes into the picture.
He was quite the character. Yeah, he was the life of the family.
Rock was just 28 years old when he died in a car crash in March of 2024 in Pennsylvania. His uncle spoke to us.
So it was tough seeing him laying there in the road.
Rock's sudden death was devastating for his family, but because he was the type to help others, Rock was an organ donor. Once Rock died, there was only a 4-hour window to get his heart from Pennsylvania to Louisville for Dewey.
I was really nervous, I was really scared because, this could be the last time that you're around. Because once you go into surgery, if something goes wrong, you're just not going to wake up.
It's still emotional for you to think about.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Why?
Because I received my heart from a 28-year-old kid. I call him a kid because, you know, I have a son that's 27, a daughter is 25. And it just bothers me that I'm almost 60 and he didn't even get to grow up, really.
The transplant and recovery was thankfully a success. 11 months later, Dewey ran his first 5K. A picture of Dewey with information that he was a new heart recipient circulated on the internet. Rock's family knew his heart went to a Kentucky man. They connected the dots and reached out. The families decided to meet each other in Pennsylvania. Dewey brought along a stethoscope. It was emotional for everyone, including Rock's mother.
She got to listen to her son's heartbeat in my chest. So.
Probably the first time I seen my sister smile since the accident.
Then I had a line of people that wanted to listen.
I think that helped with the healing process. You know, it kind of came full circle.
The families exchanged stories and realized that Rock and Dewey were a lot alike. They both loved Halloween. The two would have probably been friends.
We all would agree that if, I would say, Rock had a hand in picking Dewey to receive his heart.
With this second chance, Dewey says life just feels a whole lot nicer, and he feels so much better.
You're 59 with a 28-year-old heart.
Right.
How does that feel?
It feels great.
Organ donation gave Rock's family a powerful and positive outcome from their tragic situation, allowing them to focus on the good that came from their loss.
I look at everybody a whole lot different than I used to. I don't get mad. It's just, you know, calmer and everything because I've got a second chance, so everything else is just daisies.
To sign up to be an organ donor, head to the National Donate Life Registry at registerme.org. Every donor can save up to 8 lives and enhance over 75 more.
Still ahead, we show you an art form turning tough material into lace-like masterpieces.
It works in so many ways to kind of keep this aesthetic of New Orleans alive.
Meet the blacksmith stoking the fires in this centuries-old craft.
Plus, we'll introduce you to a man who knows a lot about napkins.
It used to be the Torque Premium MB570 9.125 by 9.5 most durable trifold towel on the market today.
The inspiration behind his self-made talent turning paper into petals.
Our in-depth coverage continues. You can get connected to Investigate TV Plus on all social media platforms.
From the time the earliest Europeans settled in America up until the Revolutionary War, one of the most essential jobs in any town was the blacksmith. According to Britannica, the term derives from iron, which was once called black metal.
Blacksmiths made a variety of objects used in everyday life, from nails, screws, and bolts to hammers, horseshoes, wheel rims, and furniture. One city known for its intricate ironwork is New Orleans, Louisiana.
Walk around the famed French Quarter and you'll find iron balconies woven around buildings, both strong and delicate in their nature.
Many of the artists who forged the Crescent City's decorative hardware were free or enslaved black iron workers who brought skills developed over centuries in their native countries.
Today, a third-generation metal worker is revered for his historic restorations and contemporary creations.
Reporter Dave McNamara takes us to his shop to meet the blacksmith passing on his passion.
In New Orleans, the city's architecture is often framed in iron. centuries of old balconies, fences, and gates that survived fires and hurricanes. And here at Andrew's Welding and Blacksmith Shop, Darrell Reeves is one of the few who still carry on the tradition.
My grandfather was a blacksmith on Sonoma Plantation.
Reeves remembers being shooed away as a boy from his grandfather's shop in Donaldsonville, but the memory of the blacksmith stuck with him.
We used to just pass through and just watch these guys beat on this metal with the sparks and all. I think that had a lot of influence with me enjoying the work with metal.
What's it like for you to take a raw piece of metal and then with a hammer and a fire to turn it into something?
That's my love. That's what gives me joy. And it gives me, how many people get to beat on metal? Especially if you're frustrated with something and get it out. How many people do that?
From iron hinges to hand-forged designs like metal leaves, Reeves makes what he needs, including his ironworking tools. And sometimes he adds a twist of his own.
I try to do something that a blacksmith would scratch his head and try to figure out how in the hell did he do that. And I do that on purpose.
That's the same feeling Reeves gets when he examines old pieces of ornate metal. He has restored some of the most historic ironwork in New Orleans, including the fence in front of the Cabildo, using plans dating back to the 1790s.
That's learning from the past. That's having a conversation with the person that actually fabricated it.
And now a younger generation is learning from Reeves. His apprentice, Karina Roca, moved here from Boston.
Well, I've always secretly wanted to be an iron worker, and then I saw a PBS program on Darrell Reeves over 10 years ago at this point, and I was like, yep, I'm going to study under that guy.
Roca is now working on a master's degree in historic preservation at Tulane, and she's been working in this blacksmith shop for 5 years.
It works in so many ways to kind of keep this aesthetic of New Orleans alive. It's very Spanish, it's very West African, it's very French. So it's sort of this symbol, this beacon of a space where all of these cultures have come together for centuries now.
Everybody looking at them as pretty designs. You have these symbols they call Adinka symbols. And these symbols has a meaning to them.
For Darrell Reeves, blacksmithing is more than bending metal. It's preserving history, culture, and the spirit of New Orleans, one hand-forged piece at a time.
We've both been to the French Quarter, just so beautiful down there, the balconies and everything.
It's like when you see it, you know you're in New Orleans.
Yeah, 100%, no other place. Mr. Reeves is a part of the New Orleans Master Crafts Guild, an organization that seeks to revive the traditional building trades and provide apprenticeships for new generations of craftsmen.
Still ahead, from hammers and hot iron to delicate folds and flowers, we show off a different kind of art.
I got family members that make jokes like he's still making a living on snot paper, stuff like that.
How he's turning what's considered disposable into collectibles.
You can watch Investigate TV Plus anytime streaming online. Get the app for Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. It's free to download. Trash, garbage, waste, all names for what Americans throw away, and we do a lot of it. The United States is the largest producer of municipal solid waste, or household trash, and a 2025 report reveals each year the average American generates about 2,000 pounds of garbage.
When it comes to one item many throw away daily, one artist sees an opportunity for art.
Inside one cafe, you'll find handmade paper petals and maybe even a magic trick or two.
Reporter Iowa Lee sits down with the artist known as the Portland Flower Guy.
We brought our kids down 4 or 5 years ago and spent sort of a long weekend and came to Powell's and sat here and watched this guy make flowers. And so when I came in today, I just thought it was really cool that he's here again and it's this many years past that.
This guy is Arnold Drake World, otherwise known as the Portland Flower Guy. Cafe goers and book lovers can find him in the cafe attached to Powell's City of Books. When I attempted to call his meticulously designed paper flowers art, he jumped in to correct me.
Everybody says I'm an artist with me.
Arnold has been creating flowers like this for 20 years, just a few years after landing in Portland from Wisconsin.
Last job I had, I was a car salesman on Kenyon and Walker Road.
When he was working there, a woman gave him a paper flower. He decided to try making his own by teaching himself.
Because back when I started, I never bought napkins. Oh no, Wendy's was yellow, McDonald's was white, Subway was the off brown.
That evolved into using paper towels.
The Torque Premium.
Okay.
It used to be the Torque Premium MB570, 9.125 by 9.5, most durable trifold towel on the market today. They never did sponsor me, boy did I try.
This material can stand up to the twisting and turning needed to create the flowers.
If I'm racing, I can make one of those in about 12, 15 minutes. 30 on average. It depends on how much showing off and dancing around I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like if I'm doing magic and whatnot. Yeah. Then it might take longer because I'm showing off, trying to get attention.
Arnold entertains the public with both his flowers and his illusions, and he says the community supports him by trading a flower for a donation.
Being able to take a napkin and actually turn a profit. I still laugh. I got family members that make jokes like you're still making a living on snot paper, stuff like that. But yeah, I still am. But
all right. How did he do that? How did he do that?
We're no good. That was amazing.
How did
the whole time I love that. I'm not even gonna try to like make that work, but that was amazing.
That's
and
incredible.
the flowers are amazing.
They're incredible.
Too. I want to see this man in person at
Seriously.
Powell's. I can remember that name.
Tisha Powell. That's it for us here at Investigate TV. I'm saying my name, Lee Zurich. You're gonna hear hers again.
And I'm Tisha Powell. Thanks for watching.
On the next Investigate TV Plus, aging fire fleets are creating new problems for firefighters and potentially putting families at risk.
The truck gave out, cost my cousins their lives. How many places are dealing with this? It's a national problem.
We uncover why the backlog is also costing taxpayers more money as firefighters wait years for new rigs.